Okay. Good morning, millionaires. Good morning, millionaires. All right. TJD Financial is in the house. Oh, man. Hope everybody's feeling good. It's already Wednesday. Can you believe that? That means tonight we got Obsessed with Success coming in live and in full effect. Matter of fact, this is the number. If you're watching a replay, you might want to lock this number in your phone. Because that's the Millionaire Mind line. 667-776-WIN1. 667-776-WIN1. We do this 7 days a week. On YouTube, we're here about 5 days a week. 7:30 a.m. On Clubhouse, we do it the same way. That's Millionaire Minded as well. And it's all designed to help entrepreneurs go further, faster, with less effort. That's our whole play. Every business owner ain't an entrepreneur. Every entrepreneur ain't a business owner. You get what I mean? But what we try to do is we try to walk there in that middle ground between the two. Our whole play is to set you up so you can go further, faster, with less effort. You know, at the end of the day, man, I try to get people to see that you really, honestly, what you really want to do, man, is put yourself in a position where you're learning every day. That's honestly the play. Does that make sense to somebody out there? All right, we starting to check in. Kim Connor in the house. What's up, Amanda? Okay, Yvette. My man Trey Brown in the house. Good morning, millionaires. Yeah, Molly Ma. Okay, Jessica. Okay, Michelle. Okay, Diamond. Let's go. My man Donald in the house. Now we got a party. Hold up, y'all. Let me get this thing going. All right. Here we go. Man, I ridiculously messed this up, man, on Clubhouse. We're gonna be all right though. All right, I'm about to call this in. I'm about to call in on the live line. Everybody ready? Y'all ain't here for my DJing? Mr. Terry in the house. What's up, baby?
You're in the right place at the right time because we're going to bring the
now we talking, Molly Ma.
Of you.
Please enter your.
Okay. Vita Lachey checking in. I'm loving that.
Please announce yourself.
All right, hold up.
All participants are muted. Entry and exit tones are off.
Okay. Good morning, millionaires. Good morning, millionaires. I hope everybody's feeling good this morning. My name is Haziq Ali. I'm a revenue acceleration coach, some of a self-esteem development expert, and my whole play is helping you go further, faster, with less effort. You know, I really feel like we're the best. I feel like we the ones, man, that God rooting for. You know what I mean? I really feel like life rushes in to support whatever gives you more life. Like I think that's the way God designed this thing. Hold on just a second, y'all. So I don't have like a little mishap. Hold on just a second. Tag somebody. I'm gonna be right back in 2 seconds. Hold up. All right. All right. So good morning, millionaires. Good morning, millionaires. My name is Haziq Ali, Some of you know, some of you don't, but we do this 7 days a week. And it's always designed to help you go further, faster, with less effort. I truly believe that entrepreneurs are the best we got on planet Earth. And therefore, I feel like if we help the entrepreneurs keep getting better, we're helping the whole world get better. Does that make sense to everybody? And to that end, sometimes I love looking at the stories of other entrepreneurs, right? Because a lot of times, when you start to study the stories of other people who have already been through your journey, what happens is you start to feel like you ain't alone. You start to feel like, dang, maybe this is my particular obstacle on the way to my greatness. Like when you start hearing about something that they went through, something that it seemed like the odds were insurmountable, their rise to the top is damn near biblical. It gives you some more power. And so I love this story of Miss Debbie Fields because she was a classic entrepreneur who started off as an artist. I always harp on how we need to learn the science of entrepreneurship because most of us just get in it because we're artists. And Debbie Fields was no different. All her life, she wanted to be in the cookie business. She loved to bake. Everybody who tasted her cookies said it was the best that they ever had. But just like everybody knows who's listening to my voice, because every single one of y'all is an entrepreneur in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Wanting to go into business and actually creating an enterprise are two completely different things. And when her story started, just like a bunch of us, she lacked exactly what everybody feels like they lack in the beginning. It was money. And so when I watched this seminar from her, and she started describing how she went around from bank to bank with a plate of cookies until she found somebody who finally believed in a dream as much as she did. It really inspired me. I wanted to kind of share with you guys, because one of the reasons that we do business credit and all of that is so we don't have to depend on the largesse of the banks and on their magnanimity. You know what I mean? We want to come from a place of personal power. What I love about building business credit is that it uses all the momentum you're already building to show that you're credit worthy so that you can scale a lot easier. But this was before the days of that. So she had to go around from bank to bank to bank with a plate of cookies, right? And when she finally gets somebody that believes in her, she opens up. Her and her husband have a bet. This is what changed everything, right? Her and her husband created a bet where he was like, yo, and keep in mind, $50 was a lot more back then, but the whole play was like, hey, I bet you ain't going to do $50 your first day. I bet you ain't going to do $50 your first day. She took the bet. She took the bet. You hear me? And what happened next is the stuff that history's made of. Because even though she thought that she'd have hundreds of sales, yeah, welcome, Yvette. I love it. Even though she thought she'd have hundreds of sales, 3 p.m. came. She still hadn't even rung the register yet. She had no money. She was supposed to make $50 just to win the bet. She was still at zero. Even though she was slightly panicked. Millionaires, you know how we always say, all creativity comes from restraint. See, a lot of times we're thanking God for our blessings, and what we're doing is thanking God for harvest. Our real blessings, millionaires, if we were really thanking God for our blessings, let me tell you what we'd be thanking God for. We'd be thanking God for the mistakes. We'd be thanking God for the restraints. We'd be thanking God for the obstacles. So what she does next is, even though she's panicked, she hasn't made $1. This is her first day of business. She has this little friendly bet with her husband. She took it to the streets, y'all. She starts giving the cookies away. And if people like them, she said, go back to my store and buy a couple of them. She sold $75 worth by the end of the day. She won the bet from her husband and a multi-million-dollar idea lottery, more importantly. Millionaires, there were a lot of things that I learned from just studying her story a little bit, right? There's a lot of things that you can learn from it. I mean, when you're in that moment, right? When you're in that low moment, what do? Are you going to cry? Are you going to quit? Are you gonna swear that the forces of nature are against you? Are you gonna blame the customer, or are you gonna look for solutions, y'all? Or are you gonna look for solutions? I want you to think about that for a minute. You know, she not only like was forced to pass out these cookie samples to win that bet. It not only saved the day, you understand? It went on to become the cornerstone of her marketing plan. Now, what if she'd have got what she prayed for? What if she'd have got what she asked for and then immediately started getting all of these sales? You get what I mean? What if her best plans would have happened? That's why we got to start having faith that God got a plan. Your job is just to stay focused. Your job is just to stay obedient. And when you decide that, you know, it's already done, right? All of a sudden you access all this higher information and then you just do it. Because you don't have time to think. You're just being obedient. Millionaires, the cornerstone of her marketing plan started to become give away samples in the streets, make them follow you back to the store. How simple is that? Genius always seems to be in these really simple ideas. It's the execution that separates you from the rest of the pack. I bet you right now you got some incredible ideas. Millionaires, but today, because of this a moment of genius that came out of this blessing that we call loss, this blessing we call obstacle, this blessing we call restraint. Mrs. Fields Cookies now has 600 plus stores, y'all. 600 plus. They now in 7 countries. So when I was checking out this this seminar, I wrote down a couple things. I just wanted to give y'all some jewels from the joint. See if that's something that you'd be into. I suggest take these down. Some of them, man, I think you're gonna get immediately. You know, some of them maybe you'll have questions about, right? But I mean, I thought these were just dope. We only got a couple minutes left together, so I'm just gonna run through them as quickly as I can. All right, 1. Pick people who love what they're gonna do. Pick people who love what they're gonna do. In other words, you're picking attitude over ability. You get what I mean? I thought that was profound. Because I love the idea that if you have the right, you know, I love the idea that I can beats IQ. Can somebody give me that in the comments? I can always beats IQ. I want you to think about that, man. She said that when she's hiring people, she can teach them all the other stuff. But what she wants to start with is the hunger, is the love, is the passion. How can you use that knowledge for your own business? How can you go about as we start to jump into this 90-day blitz, right? If you're participating with us in that, no matter what industry you're in, I want to challenge you to think about how can you use that? You know, you're doing a 90-day blitz, man. You can't be in that place where we understand enrollment is a process, not an event. But in a 90-day blitz, we don't have time for a lot of that. We taking, especially in a pre-launch, we taking volunteers. We're just gonna pick people who are hungry. We're just gonna pick people who love the idea of having a second paycheck without having to worry about a second job. Here was the second jewel she had, right? Somebody get me? I can is always gonna be IQ. I can is always gonna be IQ. I can is always gonna be IQ. Here go the second one. This second one gonna mess you up. Check this out. She was like, set 24-hour goals. Set 24-hour goals. How insane is that one? Set 24-hour goals. Can somebody give me that in the comments? Set 24-hour goals. Set 24-hour goals. She said, what about our boss or our friends? I love that. That's something to chew on right there. Check this out. What about setting 24-hour goals? Is that an amazing concept? How many of us have ever thought about something like, instead of setting goals that have to do with your big, you know, thing for the month or your big thing for the year, what if you just set your big goals for the next 24 hours? What you want to have accomplished by this time tomorrow morning. Isn't that interesting? Here's a third one, y'all. And this one blew my mind. She said, set 2-hour goals. Can somebody give me that one in the comments? Set 2-hour goals. set 2-hour goals. Yo, she said that one of her secrets to success, and I don't know if you want to blame this on the fact that she's a chef, right? I don't know what you want to call it, but check it out. She said that her whole play is managing by the hour. I don't know how long it takes cookies to bake or like how many it takes to do a whole set of cookies, but I thought that was ingenious. Sometimes you hear us talking about these different techniques that help you to increase your power, right? Like the Pomodoro technique is one where you set the timer. I think it's like a tomato timer or some kind of, connection to the Pomodoro tomato. And you go in for that certain amount of minutes and then you take that break. And then you go in for that certain amount of minutes and then you take that break. Well, she's saying set 2-hour goals. Millionaire, what if you set that 2-hour goal to get done with your 10 calls, your 20 calls, 30 calls in 2 hours? Can somebody say set 2-hour goals? If we're going to really change our lives in this next 90 days, y'all, it starts right now. You got to kind of like, when you see that big wave coming and you on your surfboard, picture how that go. Now, if you ain't already moving, that wave ain't going to do nothing but slap your behind, right? If you see that wave coming, you got to kind of start getting up on your knees on the board. You got to start paddling. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Now we stand up on that thing. Then it's like, now we, you know what I mean? Set 2-hour goals. Start fading yourself into these habits of discipline. Here was the fourth one. Hire experts. Hire experts. Man, yesterday was crazy, man. This is kind of like off the subject, but yesterday, man, I participated in one of the best photo shoots that like I probably ever did in my life. And check this out. It was in an hour. My girl found a photographer that was so cold. I mean, she been working with the dude, but what do we know? We be dudes and stuff. We don't know nothing. Listen, when I tell you that this dude, he's like, no, put your arm like this. Okay, got it. Okay, next outfit. We did 3 different outfits, about 4 or 5 different looks. Ask me how long it took, y'all. Ask me how long it took. It took less than an hour. Less than an hour. And when y'all see these pictures, it's just amazing. I'll give you another one. Never mind the way Mrs. Fields used this, because I'm giving you the jewels, but I want you to think about how you can use it for your own business, right? I hit sent her to like Miami or something like that, right? Just so she could just go chill, just get her thoughts together, all of that, right? Let me tell you what this girl do. She goes and finds some website that has all of these photographers and whatnot. Next thing you know, she got some suit in front. She got some shoot going on in front of like golden plated elephants and all of that. The photographer goes, he finds some resort. Why? Because he's from there, And so it gave me a hack. I'm going to give y'all a little millionaire hack. Every place you go, hire a photographer from that city. It's only going to cost you $50, $100. If you're an entrepreneur and you need content, wherever you go to a new city, go on one of these websites. I'll have her talk about it one day soon, but go on one of these websites, hire a photographer that's in that city, because they're going to know the city. And since they're a photographer, they already have a plethora, a whole menu of super scenic, ill places. They are what? They're an expert. You want to hire eagles. You want to hire the best people you can find. You get what you pay for. All right, the next one. Allie, you crazy. Yeah, shouts out to Alicia Goins. This lady got some of the coldest pictures. If you want to see like a man, shouts out to Alicia Goins. Let me just hold up. All right, yeah. Isn't that dope? Man, but okay, here's another one for you. Here's another one. Create systems with a heart. Create systems with a heart. I give you an example of a system with a heart. With Mrs. Fields, getting back to Mrs. Fields' story. Do you know she lets her employees take as many cookies home as they want? That's a system with a heart. Not only does it make it so that they're not wasting any of the cookies, right? Not only is it also a nod to the insane profit margin that she has selling bits of dough and pieces of chocolate. But anyway, she said that boom, that creates all this goodwill. It creates more customers because now they're giving away cookies to their family and friends. You know what I mean? It creates more customers. I love that as an idea of a system with a heart. A system with a heart. Millionaires, you know, a lot of times we talk about in a revenue acceleration circle, right? We always talk about how you got the before unit, you have the during unit and the after unit, right? And we always talk about how the before unit starts with you loving on that customer, knowing exactly who you're dealing with, and then all these other pieces that we teach you, right? And then we always talk about how the during unit is all about creating referrals. Everything that you do in the during unit is all about looking for referrals, setting up systems for referrals. That changes people's whole life because they're like, damn, I never even thought of it as two different units of the business. And then you have that after unit, right? Everything you do after the sale, that's when they finally love you, because everything you did before the sale, they felt entitled to it. What I'm saying is this is a system with a heart. That before, during, and after unit, it's a system with a heart. I just want you to think about that. Like, how can you use that in your own business? That's why we're always talking about, you know, mindset, skill set, or heart set, right? Because we want you to think of all three as you're building your business. And that brings me to the next jewel she dropped. She's like, don't chase money. You'll never catch it. All of the legends, I had to bring that up because you hear that consistently amongst everybody who's anybody. You know, don't get me wrong. The money's a cool target because it lets you keep score for the impact that you're making on the planet. Okay? Love it. But we can't get confused with money as being the goal. Money is not the goal. Money can be the target, but money's not the goal. You can't chase money. You can't be thinking about the commission. You have to be focused on the mission. And then it's a win-win. It's a gift that keeps on giving. Because guess who else is attracted to the mission? The people that you share. At the end of the day, marketing is just knowing what you do, doing it, and then showing everybody else your proof that you do this. Marketing is basically about what do you love and how do you tell people about it. Millionaires, don't chase money. Get a purpose and make that what your life magnetizes to. And then from there, all kinds of opportunities are going to abound because you know who you are and you know whose you are. Don't mess around and be a miserable millionaire. Here's another one for you. She was like, I think this is number 7 I got for you. She was like, take your product to the extreme when you're making it better than everybody else. Take your product to the extreme with making it better than everybody else. Now, don't get me wrong, right? You have to know what lane you're in. You know, McDonald's takes their product to the extreme, making it better than everybody else, but not in every single category. I mean, they're not going to be better than everybody else in terms of having actual food or something that's actual edible. The other day, I filmed a bunch of French fries that were all piled together on the ground, right in the middle of the dirt and stuff. And it was bizarre. There was not a single bug anywhere near it. Like no animals would touch it. It was just sitting there. No mold, no ants, no beetles. No worms digging in and making it's like it's not food. So McDonald's ain't the best at everything, but they've chosen to be the best at what? Distribution. They're the best at what? Buying real estate. They're one of the main landowners in the whole world, right? My point is, what can you do to be better than anybody else in your lane, right? I wanted to be clear because when we say take our product to the extreme to make it better than everybody else, some people think that now you need some product that costs you $100 to create when you're only charging $99. And that's not what we're saying. What we're saying is you have to think about that client that you're looking to love on and then wow them. When anything wow is always going to create loyalty. Can somebody give me that in the comments? Or make sure you write that in your notes. You know what I mean? Anything wow, y'all. Come on, Kim. Anything wow, W-O-W, anything wow always creates loyalty. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? Yeah. Here's another one she threw out. She was like, you got to turn change into opportunity. Turn change into opportunity. And she told a whole bunch of stories about it. Again, we only have a couple minutes together. And Obsessed with Success, the class we do on Wednesdays, we always get real deep into these different stories. So, make sure that you tune in with us and we can get deeper. I don't have like a whole bunch of time in these morning classes, but another thing that you can do is I'll send you a bunch of the notes. I'll send you a bunch of notes. You know what? What you need to do is, this is what you need. Go to wearemillionaireminded.com. Make sure you join the email list. Go to wearemillionaireminded.com. Put your name and email in that thing. It's going to send you like a little toolkit or whatever. And then you'll be on this little newsletter we send out that always has mindset, heart set, and skill set for entrepreneurs. wearemillionaireminded.com. For some reason, it says .co on the screen, but that's not right. It's .com. All right, but anyway, where was I? Turn change into opportunity. I want to invite you to think about all the change that you've seen happen in the past couple months, right? In the past couple years, in the past, let's call it 15, 18 months. What have you done to adjust accordingly? Like, what have you done to mine these tumultuous moments for the opportunity? Because, if you stressed out, that means everybody's stressed out. What are you doing to help with them? Man, Crystal Reynolds comes to mind. I've never heard of this term. Maybe I'm slow, right? But Crystal Reynolds is a zooter. She helps your children learn and get more acclimated to this in-home learning environment over Zoom. She calls it being a zooter. Man, I thought that was incredible. She turned change into opportunity. All these kids are having to learn from school. Parents are not in-home school teachers. You know what I mean? They don't know what the heck they're doing. Half the time, the parents is creating trauma around the assignments now. Now the parents are single-handedly, darn near making the kids hate school. You hear me? So I just thought that was amazing. One of the last ones that she said, anything wow creates loyalty. Anything wow creates loyalty. My man George in the house. Bulletproof George in the building. What's cracking, bro? That's right. Anything wow creates loyalty. Okay. So a bunch of stuff, man. Other random notes you may want to write down. She if her cookies ain't sold within 2 hours, she gives them to charity. I thought that was cool. That's another thing of a system with a heart. She writes her guarantee on every bag. I thought that was cool. That's risk reduction. She's letting the customer know, I'm taking all the risk. You don't have to. You know what that does for your sales? She only hires people who love cookies. I mean, duh. She makes people sing happy birthday in their job interview. I thought that was very interesting. She that's more of that hiring attitude over ability stuff. She gives employees all the cookies they want. I kind of talked about that. I thought that was incredible. She gives out samples in the street constantly still. Even at age 13, she really believed she was the best cookie maker ever, right? She felt like she was creating kind of like chocolate nirvana. She said she wanted eating her cookies to feel like an experience. And I mean, I feel like she pulled that off, y'all. So I hope this was helpful. That's a bunch of stuff I learned from Mrs. Fields. We about to take it to affirmations. I love the idea that we can come together and kind of declare some things to this planet, declare some things to the universe. And we do it every morning. It's going to feel weird to you the first time, but you see this little wheel of life up here in the top corner. You see this little wheel of life. All my Kaizenites know what that is. But what we're trying to do is get fulfilled, y'all. And that thing is like a wheel because if you imagine, you being, on a 10, like way out there on a certain level, and then in other levels, you're on a 5, a 4, a 3, it don't feel that bad if that's the wheels on your car when you're driving slow. But as that thing starts to speed up, what's going to happen? Next thing you know, you're like, life getting bumpy. because you ain't looking at the whole thing. So affirmations help you cover more of that whole thing. It helps you look at yourself, introspect, and make sure every day you're getting better. So repeat after me, millionaires. Let's do it like this. I am so